Now, that was one of two requirements set by the city. The first was to rope off the area within 24 hours of the collapse, and the second is to demolish the building by the end of the week. I'm here outside the Shopko on the west side of St. Cloud, where I've been talking to people coming in and out of the store all day, and it seems like most people are under the same consensus. Nobody saw this coming, especially so close to the announcement closing the east side location as well. And now most people are asking the same question. What next? Crowds of people have gathered here at Boom Island Park for the 4th of July celebrations. Now, the fireworks show isn't set to go off until 10, but that didn't stop many people of bringing their own fireworks to celebrate with in the meantime. Blacklight Adventures might not have doors on their hinges quite yet, but they're excited to open them come June. They say it's been a great process watching their ideas go from on paper to real life. Police say the best way to protect yourself is to close your garage door at night. Make sure you lock your car doors, and as an extra precaution, take your opener inside with you. There'll be two Purple Heart community signs posted in Stearns County. One here at the Stearns County Service Center, and here at the Stearns County Administration Center. Well, Sydney and Stephen, I'm here at Sherwood Manor Park, where last night, just before 2 a.m., the fire crews reported to this unit that was engulfed in flames. As you can see, they had to rip off sides of the building and the skirting from underneath just to get in and to completely put out the fire. Fire crews were here until about 8 o'clock in the morning. Earlier, I talked to Battalion Chief Officer Raymond from the St. Cloud Fire Department, who says while luckily everyone made it out safe, they're still investigating the cause of the fire.
The problem with these types of fires is that the fire will actually get itself into nooks and crannies that are hard to find, and so we have to be very diligent when we overhaul the fire to make sure that we got every last spark and ember.
Only hours after the fire was put out, icicles hang in the broken windows of what used to be a family's home. Charred furniture and children's toys laying in the snow is all that's left of this trailer home.
So I know we were cutting holes in the siding to get to the fire, and so I'm sure the trailer is a total loss.
Fire crews say they got to the scene at 1:40 in the morning and worked throughout the night to keep the fire contained. The next home is just 6 feet away, and the only damage it received was a broken window. George Lagaria was in the area as crews finished fighting the fire.
It was about 7:20-ish. I saw the fire department putting out the fire. There was a lot of smoke. They pretty much got done putting it out.
Luckily, the 3 people who were in the house at the time made it out unharmed.
There were no injuries. Everybody was fine. They just needed a new place to stay.
Earlier today, I did try to reach out to the family, but the manager of Sherwood Manor, Eugene, told me that they are safe and they are okay. They are currently living in alternative housing thanks to the Red Cross, but right now, they just want some privacy. Reporting live in St. Cloud, Spencer Schacht, UTVS News.
When we did get home about 10 o'clock Sunday morning, I was talking to the wife and I couldn't shut up.
Harvey Cederholm scrolls through all 192 pictures he took on his iPad, reminiscing about his time on the honor flight.
This is my favorite, of course, because that was the Navy memorial.
Cederholm served as an electrician on the USS Hornet for their 1954 world cruise.
Started out in the Atlantic, ended up in the Pacific, through the Suez Canal, stopped at many ports and whatnot.
Ports including the Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Rome.
We happened to be standing about right here in the middle when the Pope went by.
As Cederholm flips through the pages of his cruise book, he's reminded of his time at sea.
Seemed like every other weekend we'd either be in the Philippines or in Japan.
But now, after the honor flight, he has a new book of memories.
Met several that were going to get together again at the reunion.
Looking back on his trip to D.C., Cederholm says his favorite part was the people.
From the time we got at the airport this morning, we've been greeted and shook more hands today. Everyone has been just fabulous.
From the Women's Memorial to the World War II Monument, the Washington Mall, and Arlington Cemetery, Cedar Home says seeing all these sights is an emotional experience.
Just unbelievable, the people that we've served with and will serve with, and those that are left behind. I'd recommend this to every veteran in the world.
And now that he's back home in St. Cloud, he's still thinking about his time with his brothers in arms.
He'll be with me for a lifetime, just like that cruise was.
After nearly 6 days of cleanup, Anton's has opened its doors once again, and they're ready to get customers back inside. The tables are set, the lights are on, and longtime employee Kate Scamp says she's grateful for everyone who helped with the cleanup.
But it was an amazing group of people and a lot of teamwork and a lot of all hands on deck that went on. And I think overall it's a great story, and I think we're all a lot closer because of what we went through.
But the night of the flood isn't a shift she will soon forget.
At first we didn't really know what to do. It was so fast.
With over 200 people in the restaurant at the time,
This is the room that normally would take on water first.
Scamp showed me where the water started to come from.
This door here is traditionally where the water starts to pool a little bit, and that's the first sign.
It started with only a few inches, but soon became feet.
At that point, it was only a couple of inches, but it was freezing cold water. People were using garbage bags to walk out in to keep their feet dry, which I thought was pretty ingenious.
But garbage bags weren't enough to keep the water at bay. The Waite Park Fire Department had to bring in 3 boats to evacuate anyone else who was still inside.
Luckily, nobody tripped and nobody got hurt.
Now with standing water, where do you even start with the cleanup?
Started by washing all the dishes, which sounds really silly, but everything in the kitchen, anything for serviceware, everything got ran through the dishwasher.
And from there, they cleaned everything else.
Floor to ceiling, every room, every tchotchke, every knickknack got wiped down, the ceilings, the beams. And again, we can't risk having remnants of any of that.
With Anton's now spick and span, the Scamp is getting back to her regular schedule, and she wants everyone to know
that we're back open and the restaurant's never been so clean.
In Waite Park, Spencer Schacht, UTVS News. Taylor, it's been a pretty chilly day. I had to put a jacket on for the first time in a couple of days. Like you said, it was a blast from the past. I remember watching Dave Coulier growing up on Full House, and it will be so exciting to see him in person.
Can't wait. So it's definitely sweatshirt weather out there.
Yeah, it sounds like those Grizzlies might be going into hibernation soon, because I feel like I should be.
No, absolutely.
Well, that's a little disappointing to hear about the snow, especially on homecoming weekend. Slight break this weekend before it gets back into it.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us here at UTVS News at 4:30. Tune back in on Monday.